Commanding my minions and feeling all powerful. That's what tyranny is all about. But is it? Well, we'll find out sooner or later. Till then, welcome back to Tyranny. So, let's speak with this guy again, shall we? Wait, Barnor. You look as if you require my counsel. Do I, though? I'm curious about you. Tell me about your rise to become an abjugator. Crude your ambitions, student. My path of this is not one that could be replicated under any circumstances. However, if your curiosity is determined, I will tell you my story. Your story can teach me nothing of power, then I am not interested. My sage friend here would add it to his chronicle, that others might learn from it. Ooh, why yes, I would be most honored. Larry grabs his large quill and pulls out a fresh sheet of parchment. The first time you ever have seen him not start a note on the back prior work in process. Okay. I came into this world centuries ago, before the dream an unfiltered Northern Empire was fully realized. My home country lay far from the borders of Kairos Empire, and our conquest was a matter of distant speculation. Decades before rumor of Kairos' approach grew in packed volume, I familiarized myself with the intricacies of her wall. Yes, with this girl, apparently. It took me no time. That's T, is it? It is T, okay. It took me no time at all to realize the benefits of our inevitable subjugation. I took it upon myself to rise in my country's governance as an arbiter of war and drafter of convents, winning some notoriety for my execution of fair justice. As my influence and the trust of my people evolved, my decision transcended to define future precedent. Please go on, my adjudicator. What my countrymen could not have surmised was that I had woven into our custom the very backbone of Kairos' wall. I set the stage for the conquest of our floundering nation to join the Overlord's empire. By the time the Overlord army presented themselves and offered terms of surrender, we had adopted Kairos' peace in all but name. Our absorption into the Northern Empire was a matter of legal formality, negligible changes to our already beloved document of law. The people credited me as the architect of peace, and for a time called me Tunon the Fair. As my importance grew in their esteem, Kairos could not help but learn of the part I play in her bloodless victory. Kairos' wall has beneath of intricacies that is unapproachable to the masses. I was chosen to interpret the represent of the Overlord's will across the Northern Empire and beyond, this time as educator. It is my pride, my duty, my life. What does it mean to be an Archon? I'm figure of power and significance, and under Kairos' mandate I am able to exercise my authority for the benefit of all. Had I not entered the Overlord's appeal, I would not stand tall before you. Well, that's a stupid question considering that the Archons did fight Kairos, but let's ask it anyway. Is every Archon subservient to Kairos? All subservient before Kairos, but I intuit your meaning. The Overlord takes great pains to recognize potential before an Archon comes into their power. They will have faced the harshest scrutiny by an agent of recruitment, if not blatant Mark himself. Those who are found worthy of incredible deeds, but refuse to join their strength to the needs of the Empire, are doomed to die. Well, that's kind of a bummer, isn't it? Those who wish to take the name for themselves are invited into the vote to serve and rule. The need of the Empire, that is the price of power and Kairos hierarchy. Could anyone become an Archon? Absolutely not. Not a precious few grow into this authority, were it otherwise Tartarus would descend into Pandemonius. Okay. Of those few who rise into power, fewer still have the self-control to make woeful use of their talents, and of those who can, fewer still are deemed worthy of Kairos' approval. The Inchu said that Kairos fought them. I remember that. Did you come into power yourself, or did Kairos foster your talents? An astute question. Doubtless I exhibited some spark of potential on my own insignificant, though enough to accomplish deeds of note. Only under Kairos Tungo have I grown to these heights. Fine, another question. What's the deal with the mask? Okay. Did you come up with the Office of Fatebinders? Indirectly, yes. Just as I am the representative of Kylos Raw across territories, you are the face of my judgment. For the people, I took inspiration from the Overlord's example, as we all should. The people needed approachable face to settle their grievances, and I am not available to objecate on every sharecropper's dispute. The Fatebinders were an inevitable solution. Why is curiosity such a problem? Because my vassals are not selected for their independence of thought. You are an agent of law, the execution of which falls within strict confines. Your intellect may aid the task ahead of you, but your unwavering obedience is of greater value to me. Let's say that I understand. What's the deal with the mask? This should be obvious to you by now, students. Since the answer is relevant to your duties, I will tolerate your ignorance and explain. The face is an uncontrollable warren of muscle spasm and reactionary contractions, sickening in its display of every petty bias. It cannot be trusted to the audience or justice. A dispute without navigating a gauntlet of subjectivity for all to witness. Go on. In my early days before the Northern Empire spared to my land, I fashioned the mask of listening out of stern and carrying wood. This expression of enduring patience harkens the testimony of my petitioners, taking in all evidence before weighing matters in their due course. Later in my career, Kairos herself gifted me the mask of resolve. You will find it almost identical to the mask of listening, save for the brow furrowed in contemplation and weighted down by the burden of judgment. This is the face that dispenses woe, often the most exciting and unforgiving sort. I wore it when I brought Kairos' devastating judgment to the bastard city. Doubtless I will wear it again. What do you look like underneath the masks? Tyranny hovers in silence, staring down at you. Your Honor? A shadow wavering doing his field whip about like waves in a storm, enveloping and flowing in your direction. An unmistakable air of danger fills the room. Are you still there? The question is irrelevant. Justice is ageless, sexless, devoid of option other than the right or wrong. The face is exterminatus of the function of law. Move on from this line of question, Fatebinder. It will do you no good. Yes, but do you even remember what you look like? I wore the mask of my office for centuries, like my gobble. It is a symbol, a testament to my authority. There is no need to remove it. It still doesn't answer my question. And yet it must suffice. You go too far, Fatebinder. You have earned the course displays, and I will hear no more out of you. Dismissed. Fatebinder, what do you want? I have some questions. Seek to test my patience again? Very well. Okay. I wish to speak about matters of law. Then you are well suited for my court in the league of heart of this corrupt and uncivilized realm. What matter draws your curiosity? You are already well versed in Carol's law, but I am happy to discuss the particular. I wish to discuss Kairos' peace. The course of our wartime efforts, of course. Kairos' peace guarantees all willing supplicants under the Overlord's authority a place in her world. The exact wording of the Bible is your life not yours to discard. An Overlord has plans for you. Okay. This extends to several spheres of influence, amongst others. It grants protection to enemies who surrender in time of war. It forbids suicide to dispense with the Overlord's vassal, and property is prohibited. Remind me, how can the Overlord's name can be used? It is not forbidden to cross one's tongue with Kairos' name, but it behoves one to use caution and respect. The Overlord's name is not yours to give, whether to progeny, produced, location, or abstraction. Slander of the Overlord's punishment by the dead. Okay? There is only one Kairos, and her name is safeguarded. No one may say Kairos and have it obscured by a second meaning. So kinda like a selfish deity that doesn't want anyone to worship anything else. Understandable. Neither will her name be associated with trivials. A gambler will not attribute his fortune to Kairos' luck, or his misfortune to Kairos' scorn. Such association lowers the Overlord in the public estimate, and is rightly considered slander most foul. Let's discuss the old vows. The old vows are forbidden, as are their contents and their denizens. Okay? Owning any item from the old vows is considered trespass regardless of how it come into your possession. Mind that in the course of your travels, as an old vow extends across much of the tiers of the Northern Empire alike, Kairos permits her sovereigns to pass only when she has coated the landscape to permit traverse. Under no circumstances are you to enter a breach into the old wells, even for the task as innocent as crossing to the other side. If these restrictions seem too severe, I would remind you that they are for the protection of Kairos' subject. The Overlord has no desire to see harm needlessly inflicted upon her loyal followers. Tell me about the magician's folly. Practitioners of the arcane arts must be sanctioned by one of Kairos' guilds, such as the Blood Chanters or Forge-bound rogue magicians with Tana's grasp of unknown powers will not be tolerated. Eve lowers her gaze to the ground, wondering in the chords of her paniled in any failed attempt to appear uninvolved in this discussion. Well, yeah. So long as your Tidecaster remains your deputy, she will have the protection of the court, but not a moment longer I must allow you to have the most fearsome agents at your side to dispense justice, but you remain capable for her actions. Oh, okay. Huh. So if I start finding that tall slab of handsome over here, you're the one guilty of molesting him. I can live with that. You should mind your mother when Tanon is speaking. A ancient mage whose spellcasting causes damage to life or property is lawless deemed innocent, as long as they practiced their art in the service of Skyros, all is forgiven. Let's speak about cost and sharing. The harvest blooms and the blights by the will of Kairos. In times of learn, you will be fed. In time of wealth, you will feed others. That's actually pretty decent lawmaking. This law is usable category unto itself, serving many needs at once, trade and tax being only two examples. The broadest intent of the law is to empower Kairos subjects to care for their neighbors and expect care in return. You might take note of the law application to trade. The merchant's right to peddle their wares is defined by permits granted annually. The recognized authority has a right to decide if a merchant sells cabbage one year and sandals the next. Anyone breaking through their restriction is subject to immediate forfeit of all assets. Okay, I'm taking that back, that's not very nice. You need to concern yourselves over the nuancas at last until they apply for this contested realm in time of peace. Here's about the restriction on forbidden knowledge. Kairos herself sets the standards of what can and cannot be known. These restrictions are rarely enforced, but they are worth taking into account. During the war, for example, Kairos deemed the knowledge of the Valium Citadel taboo. No one may possess a wisdom, that fallen responsibility, save Kairos herself. That's stupid. Calling it all taboo seems a bit like overkill, but to play Kairos advocate, the world would hardly be safer if all had access to the lore, making poisons, or the art of farming brigadians in the fine bronze. This is for the protection of her subjects before the coming of Kairos. During the ages of anarchy and discord, powerful knowledge is undeserving, hands leveled, empires without thought or mercy. Kairos has no desire to revisit those dark times. Am I beholden to these laws? That's a stupid question. That should not be a question. We are all subject of Kairos. Her laws define and regulate our very way of life. With that said, as an agent of law, you are granted more leeway than a soldier or a citizen. You may find yourself compelled to commit morally questionable acts in the name of Kairos. If it serves the cause justice, much may be forgiven. So the rules don't apply to you, so long as you're enforcing them on someone else. I want your job. Yeah, well, shouldn't have rebelled then. If the courts find any of your actions suspect, we will summon you to answer for yourself. Your testimony will be heard and judgment rendered. You are exceedingly curious about the application of Kairos law. I find it refreshing that you would seek my counsel, Fatebinder. I have no more questions. Then be on your way. Ah, that was extremely fun. So, what kind of quest do we have currently? A former kingdom is littered with the countless ruined weapons scattered across the battered plains. Somewhere in the rusted waste of the blade and grave lies Dauntless, the unbroken blade of legend. Blended mark said that if you were to acquire it, you will strike fear into the hearts of all who face you. Then I shall seek Frostmourne and claim it for myself. Oh, come on, I can't be the only one who thought about that. Anyway... Ah. Blendon Mark, welcome back. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Blendon Mark, Archon of Shadow, roses from the faraway stair, turning to face you with a wry smile. How can you tell? Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of shadow that shroud him. At first his words seemed odd. After all, you two have met in actual war, between the addict breaking the Avenger well and now. But when you shoot him a curious look, he raises his red-painted eyebrows in return, a scaring smirk quicking the right corner of his mouth. Clearly, he doesn't want you to mention your clandestine meeting in the presence of the court. Good to see you again. After, so long. What do you mean you guess you're glad I left? He studies your in answer, his eyes sharp with amusement and dark hidden knowledge. Want to know something? Not really, no. Only if not going to regret knowing it. You won it and lost situation. Not saying the abdicator was wrong to send you into certain debt, someone had to read the edict, but I like your type, kid. You're the right combination of capable and too damned stubborn to die. That's not only survives, but thrives on suicide missions. That's not a secret, I'm awesome. The Archon's fighting damn well didn't help your chances. Can't say I'd have done differently if it was my life on the line. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? I'm the first person to take an evasive stance against your rhetorical question. The first fate binder, to awaken the spire of old Wales. You're not wrong, that was definitely a shock. I doubt it's the sole reason you've made it the tears tremble. Proclaiming the edict wasn't new, either is surviving or resolving the commandments of the edict. But you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. And now I go on. Your short list of people who stand out as potential problems? More or less, mostly more. Yeah, I'm clever like that, I know what to say. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in now. That's you've put yourself on the map. Since you don't seem big on playing nice with the Archons, you can bet both their armies are going to try to cut you down as you go forward. Watch out for a knife in your back. The Archon of Shadow shrugs to you in farewell, but his golden eye are aligned with interest as he watches you. So are you gonna stay here? There's a reason you've gaped at me like I just gutted your kid, or do you just like to stand around and stare? The bracer you're wearing is rather eye-catching. I bet you're thinking something like it look even better on you, right? I never said that. This. He waves his left arm in the air, examining the blacker than black bracer, strapping armament that appears simultaneously solid as obsidian and as porous as a scythe, almost a living posing thing. That'd be my binding of shadows. Want it? Oh no, I couldn't really. But you must take it. Now, I insist. If only so I can see the expression on your face when you slip down. His eyes gleam with dark intense, a sly amusement as he watches you, his expression a mask of sifting shadows to hide his true intent. With a gulp grunt and some difficulty, he attaches the bracelet off, so it is solid after all, and tosses it to you, one-handed. Careful with it. Not only weapon can be double-edged swords. The binding of shadows is better than this. Oh yeah, it's better. Look at that. So I just gained a glove which gives me 18 to 21 damage. It's amazing. I want this one. It gives you one more armor. And since you are our fighter for the time, I'm gonna give it to you. Here, you can have this. Well, I can place it here. Interesting. Okay, I think it's going to be here where I end the episode, and next time we're gonna test this new glove out. But let's hear it, shall we? Shadow's Embrace. So, wait. Shadow's Embrace. What does that do? Drain strength. Not in combat. Minus 10% all damage taken for 40 seconds. That sounds great. Actually, I just want to see if I can upgrade this one. I cannot. Not a lot of lore. I almost have enough. How about we upgrade your spells a little bit? What do you have? Okay. Lore plus 30 plus 9. Oh, wow. There is no one who can actually use that. Hmm. 80, that's too much, apparently. And what do? Blood magic. That's what I got from this guy. fireball. Nice. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the episode here, but yes, I did want to learn about this artifact a little bit more. Shift into a shadow version of yourself. While in this form, deal more arcade damage with each attack and gain bonus damage reduction. Its effects scale with Binding of Shadow Renown. I can switch this guy's portrait, actually, I have a better one. This bracer, once worn by Belden's mark, is made of an unfamiliar substance. Part velvet, soft, darkness, and part hardened insect chitin. It is said that the darkness is more oppressive when the Archon of Shadow smokes the face of Tartarus. The magic streaming from this power draws on the substance of the shadows with an air of welcome and invitation, treating the dark less as something more than an arcane force, as such a bracer that allows the wearer to embody their darker self, has overtoned the danger and risk. Just looking at it too closely causes your vision to swim and send a wave or noose around through your guts. Manuswit said, yep, it's bad. Right, so this is where I end the episode, and next time we're gonna complete one of those quests. So, actually, how much do you hate me? No one cares about you. You seem to love me. Vers still doesn't love me enough. Barak. Oh, I will find you, Barak. You shall see. We can read those biographies later. Well, Tyranny seems to love me a lot. And hate me a lot. Gave Ash. He hates me. Big deal. The voice of Nara. And this guy loves me a lot. Random Wark was watching. Yeah, there should be a new slogan like Blendon Mark is watching. Anyway, I'm gonna see you all next time. Goodbye.